Hey, you witches, it's Taya and Luna. Boop. And today we are actually going to talk a little bit about how Miss Luna makes me a better witch. I have 5 reasons why my dog makes me a better witch. I don't know if you can hear her. She's like, she has things to share. So the first one, kind of low-hanging fruit, but she gets me outside, right? She gets me exercise. I mean, my body is my temple, and she gets me exercise. And getting outside helps me experience the seasons in real time. I'm out there when it's like -20 and blowing winds. I am out there when it's +35. I am out there when it's overcast. I'm out there when it's sunshiny and bright. You name it. Pretty much the only time we don't go walking is if it's colder than about -25 with the wind chill, or if it's raining, which it doesn't happen very often that it's raining here. So I get to experience the seasons in real time, and I think for a traditional witch, it's important to get out and really experience, you know, all the seasons and what they have to offer. It helps me stay in touch with like the sun and the moon cycles. So, you know, that's beautiful when you go walking and you've got the sun just glaring in your eyes and it's so beautiful and bright, and it's always makes me think back to like, wow, I mean, we know so much now about what the sun is, and, you know, it's just kind of second nature for us. But imagine back like hundreds of thousands of years and people had no idea what it was, and they thought it was a god in the sky, and, you know. And even moon cycles, because when we get to the new moon, the moon is actually out during the day. So while I'm out walking, I'm finding where is the moon in the sky and what, you know, where's that cycle at right now. So that's kind of helps me keep in touch with that. And finally, with getting outside, it helps me practice mindfulness, and it's meditative, right? To just step after step after step, and it keeps me very grounded in reality. So that's a big part of my mental health regime is daily walks with my dog, just for that mindfulness, meditativeness of it. The second thing is sometimes I discover cool things when I'm out with my dog. So that is actually how I got into foraging around in my local areas, was not with Luna, but with her predecessor, Nixie. We were, you know, out walking, and I remember one day I saw these flowers and I thought, oh, those look like yarrow, because I grow yarrow in my yard. And sure enough, it was like hot pink, and it had actually grown in a field. And then I started noticing the wild roses and the different all the different, like, we call them weeds, but really they're not. And I started thinking about all the different things you could do with them. My next project, now that I'm, you know, I've kind of got the foraging under my belt, my next project is to start, I want to do all the different leaves of the trees that grow in my yard and in my neighborhood around. I think that would be sort of an interesting one, is to start researching what trees I actually have here to work with. So anyways, that was reason number 2, right? It kind of gets me doing these, discovering new things like foraging or tree plotting or whatever you want to call it. Number 3 is she keeps me connected with the spirits of my place. So while I am out walking around, I mean, we tend to go the same sort of places. There's 3 different ponds here in my neighborhood. I live like in the suburbs, so there's 3 different ponds. There's so many different parks. There are certain like trees and boulders and rock formations and things that we pass as we walk. So it really, I mean, the more time I spend going to the same pond over and over, the same water feature over and over, right, I'm going to get familiar with the spirits of that place, and that gives me something to call on in my practice. The other thing, speaking of spirits, is while we're out and about, I'm looking for signs from my animal spirit guides. There's all sorts of different birds and wildlife. I'm not kidding you. We came back, this would have been October. We came back from a walk, and as I'm walking into my cul-de-sac, I live in a city. I live in Edmonton, Alberta. I live in a fairly large city, but I live closer to the edge of the city. And as we were walking into my cul-de-sac in our suburb, there was a coyote walking out of just walking along the street. So it's, you know, I keep my eyes open for messages from spirit guides and stuff. You just never know what you're going to find. Number 4. So the basicness of her being, of her existence, it reminds me and keeps me in check with my own basic nature. It keeps me on track with the simplicity of what I truly need to live and be happy. You know, we need food and shelter, maybe some exercise, and love. You know, we need to be connected to others. And so being with her reminds me of just, you know, what's really, truly important in life. And it also builds my empathy for other living creatures, right? Like, look at this. I mean, she's a dog, but you can extend that out to other animals and pets, to other, you know, animals, even just living in the wild. So yeah, it builds my empathy, and it really reminds me of what, in my own base nature, what do I really, really need to live and be happy in this life. And finally, number 5, she's a very needy dog, bless her. We are always like snuggling. We are always in contact. Like you saw her get off the bed earlier. She is sitting down by me chewing on a bone. If you can hear it, sorry. She's chewing on a bone. But we're always very closely connected. When she came to us as a puppy, I don't know, we just bonded, and she never leaves my side. If I leave the house without her, she cries at the door. And my husband said every time there is so much as a gust of wind outside, she runs to the door to see if I'm coming home yet. And so her and I are in very close contact all the time. And it sort of makes me think a little bit back to my ancestors, who would have lived in such close contact with their own animals. Maybe not pets per se, but their own animals that they would work with and eat alongside, or actually eat, that they would sleep with. You know, they had their cows and their chickens and their pigs and their goats. Very often were housed, you know, in their home or in a shelter just off of their home. They didn't have big, large, sprawling farms like we have now. And they would have been in very close contact with animals throughout their lives. That's sort of how our ancestors would have lived. And I think it just, again, gives me, as a traditional witch, a little bit of a mind set, a little bit of a mind frame about what it is that my ancestors would have been like. So yeah, that's kind of 5 ways that my dog makes me a better witch. I don't know, do you have pets? Do they make you a better practitioner of your spiritual path? I would love to hear about it. Feel free to drop a comment. If you like the video, please give me a like. And if you're interested in this sort of witchy content, please subscribe, and then we can hang out again in another video. So thanks so much for your time today. That was just what I had to say about how my dog makes me a better witch. Mwah! Thanks, guys.